Well, hello, welcome to Digital Influence. I'm Dallas McMillan, and today I'm thrilled to be interviewing Duda. Duda is the Kick Ass Muse. She's a Buddhist Transformational Coach, and today she's going to talk to us about Buddhism of Business. And I really love this topic because I think for so many people, business is almost the opposite of their spiritual life, and sometimes it's the opposite of their personal life. So the idea of getting more grounded in your spirituality and bringing your practice into your business, or bringing your business and your spiritual life together, is a challenge for a lot of people. And if you can do that, it can really bring great joy and happiness and success. So I'm really looking forward to hearing how Duda does this with her clients, and also her journey to what sounds like a fairly exotic lifestyle. Because for a lot of people, being able to do something that sounds like they're really passionate about it, but seems like it's impossible, that's a really great thing to achieve. So really looking forward to hearing your story, Duda. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Dallas, for having me. And I really appreciate this opportunity to, share the stories and some practical advice on how to achieve the dreams. So I'm looking forward to this. Thank you.
Fantastic. So you'll have to explain to us all what a Buddhist Transformational Coach is. It sounds fascinating, and I think we can sort of guess, but I'd love to know more about that.
Sure. I am currently a Buddhist Transformational Coach. That's my niche, how I help people in this world. The reason why I went that journey is because I became a Buddhist in 2014. It was an official, I took vows in a monastery, but I'm an accidental Buddhist. So there was a long journey that I will explain later on. But I realized that there is a huge shift going on amongst entrepreneurs, at least the entrepreneurs that I knew around the world. And so as a Buddhist, I realized that I can help my fellow entrepreneurs understand what's really happening in life, what's happening behind the events as an entrepreneur. And there's a gap in the market. Here's the business Duda. I'm a Buddha Duda and a business Duda, where I realized, you know what, we kind of like to see what Dalai Lama says, right? But we kind of don't really take it as serious. Like, it's a nice to read, and then you just move on with your own shit, right? Yeah. And I'm kind of a monk, but I'm not. I actually really devoted my life to Buddhism. I studied Buddhism with Tibetan Buddhist monks, which is a serious study for 2 years, and then later on 5 years. So I really am sort of a connector between what you would learn in a monastery, but you learn it from somebody who is an entrepreneur like yourself, except she totally understands what's happening. And so I wanted to find a way to become happier as an entrepreneur. And I see a lot of entrepreneurs struggling at times. More often, the more success comes in, the more struggles we have, and we grow as entrepreneurs. And that was the reason why I said, okay, I will actually help entrepreneurs in this way. I will teach you through Buddhism how to become a happier and more self-aware entrepreneur. That's really what I do.
Fantastic. Well, that can only help us improve our business, and so to get in touch with ourselves.
Totally. I started my first business in 2009, and I was a very hardworking girl. I actually started even being homeless and having nothing and blah, blah, blah. It's the old recycled stories everybody can read on my website. And the thing is, I realized soon enough, because I was a Steve Jobs fan, I realized that in my free time, what I did, I was working hard and really struggling to get my first clients, get money for the rent. And, I had months and months without food, and, on 5 pounds, living for 2 weeks, eating soups and leftovers and stuff. And, and what I realized is, me as an entrepreneur, like, nobody prepared me for this. It's a completely new doors that I opened to the world, that nobody actually explained to me what to expect once I get there. And the funny thing is, it's a journey. You never get there, really. And so I realized, for some reason, that I have to invest in my own happiness if I really want my business to succeed. And, I failed so many times. I mean, I went for this, okay, I want money, I want success, I work hard, I work 21 hours a day for 4 years, 21 hours a day for 4 years. Crazy, right? And so what happens to me is in year 4, I'm totally demotivated, tired, exhausted, and I lost my why. I'm like, why am I doing all this shit? I already have the money in my bank account. I was on 6 figures for ages. I employed people, but I woke up unhappy. And so I realized, okay, this is it. And most entrepreneurs that come to me are really in a similar position. Maybe they're not as tired as I was, but they do have this sense of, okay, I already have a substantial success behind me, but something is missing and I don't understand what it is. Or they deal with obstacles in a way that they suffer, right? Something bad happens and it just takes all your energy. And as a Buddhist, I realized, hold on, I'm a much happier entrepreneur right now because I understand what this obstacle actually is. So I changed my mindset and I just literally share my wisdom with my fellow entrepreneurs so they can have the same journey as me. It's very simple,
Terrific. Without the mental breakdown and process.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you will always fail. Buddhism, spirituality, and entrepreneurship, as I said, is a journey. You will never get there. You have to accept that as a fact. But you might have fun. It's an adventure. Yeah. It's like you're going on a holiday. You should really have fun. You shouldn't be like, oh shit, now my car broke. Oh no, now there's rain and I expected the sun. Right. That all happens on a holiday. But do you really dwell on it? You don't, because in your mindset, you are set for surprises, and you kind of get on with that. You kind of enjoy these little obstacles on a holiday. Why don't you enjoy it in your entrepreneurship? The reason why is because people are going into the business venture with wrong values. Or even if you enter your business with the right values, what happens is down the line, without spirituality, you never stop and reflect. You don't stop after a year to reflect who you are today. Just pause and say, hold on, am I the same Dallas that I was a year ago? No, I've changed. Why did you change? Because I learned something new, because I was hurt here, because I met incredible people. I got inspired. You're never the same person that you were yesterday. And so entrepreneurs don't do that. They don't stop. They don't reflect. They push through with wrong values, most likely, because we live in a Western world. All is about money and success and attachment to status, and we mustn't fail. And so we just push through on a kind of like autopilot mode. And then you hit the wall and you are not happy. You have the success, you have the house, you have the status, you want more, which is fine, but you don't feel good. And this is where I help clients. Ideally, I would help you before you hit the wall.
Great. And as you said, no one prepares you for entrepreneurship. We start out our lives hopefully cared for well by our parents and getting 3 square meals a day. And, if you remember to take time for lunch at work, you generally get it. If you're employed, you're often not being paid as much as you want, or maybe not doing what you want, but it's a pretty safe existence. It's like being an animal in a zoo almost. You'll get your 3 square meals a day, you'll get by, you can't do much more. And entrepreneurship does offer so much more potential, but also there's potential for danger. It's almost like a zoo animal going into the wild, and suddenly they don't know how to hunt for food. And as they say in sales, it's an eat what you kill world out there. So, and that makes it very easy to lapse into poor values, as you say. If things are tough, it's easy to take a client who you don't really like working with, or to put up with poor business practices that are bad habits that will cause problems later, but you've sort of got to survive. It really is a challenge early on, and that journey does prepare you to get better, but it's so easy to get caught up along the way and lose track of why you went into business in the first place.
Totally. And when Buddhism really helped me, or any spiritual practice in that direction, what it really does, it's a label. Yeah, I'm not into labels, but it's a label. There was Guy, Gautama, and Siddhartha, and we called him Buddha, which actually means the enlightened one. Yeah, he just got the wisdom to understand how to be happy. That's it. Yeah, but it's a label. So Buddhism, the wisdom that it helps me to understand what's actually happening beyond these human existing labels that we use every day, is just helping me to become aware of who I am every day. It's kind of like a self check-in service, you know. And so if you as an entrepreneur have this practice to check in with yourself, then you get your values right. You actually stop, reflect, and you are in control of where you're heading. Like you will, for example, when I was not a Buddhist and I was just a hardworking entrepreneur, and I was still a good girl, you know, I wasn't into materialistic at all. I just wanted this money for safety. Now, here's the thing: when you don't have the knowledge about real values and the bad things that are kind of like causing your suffering, for example, fear, ego, attachment, you will not know how to change it. You're trapped in your fear. I give you an example. I had this huge client, £15,000 each month just from one client. Yeah, there was enough to pay 4 employees, and we just went for years and years and years. She was toxic. She was passive aggressive. She was dishonest. She was everything that I'm by default allergic to. I don't like dishonesty. I don't like toxic. I like kindness, compassion. She was the opposite. But there was this money in. And because I started as a homeless girl, I got stuck without Buddhism in this fear, this limiting belief that this is worth that money. Yeah. I was 4 years believing that this amount of money justifies my pain. I got depressed. My cancer got back. And my dad died. And when my dad died, obviously you start processing things in a spiritual way. I then had enough of the shit. And then Buddhism kicked in saying, you were just stuck in the fear. Because what happens really is I let her go and new clients came in. And that was just a life experience saying, you know, never ever stop being stuck in your fear. Plus, I was stuck in that fear of not having money for 7 years. But I already made 6 figures 5 years down the line. So I just kept this limiting belief in the background. And we all have those little limiting beliefs somewhere. For you, might be something different. For me, the money was a representation of safety. But that's bullshit. That's actually bullshit. That's just your limiting belief. That's how your ego tricks you to stay in this little box. And you just suffer there and do what everybody else around you is doing. Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. It's so easy to be reacting to things all day, and particularly when you're growing a business, everything's happening for the first time, or it's happening quicker than you can respond to. When you're growing, you're getting more work than you've got staff to handle, so you are busy reacting all day. You have to be all, you know, little fires turn to big fires, but that sets you up to be constantly reacting to things without thinking, and so it's probably a bit of a trap that's more so for entrepreneurs than it is just for an everyday person working a comfortable salary job, because you have to be reacting really quickly and thinking on the spot to make sure the business works.
Totally. And also your understanding of why you attracted these people and these situations is the only way that you can gain control and decide, okay, this one is worth it, this one is not. But without that understanding, you because you're in a haste, yeah, you have to work fast. And I work fast. I run 5 businesses today, and I have 2 stepkids and my partner, and I move countries and I live everywhere around the world. I'm very fast, but I check in with myself a lot in the day. So when a client comes in and I feel, let's say a client comes in and I want that money, I need that money, right? I have my plans. And so the client comes in and it's just the way that client talks to me, or the way I feel inside something is not right. From my experience, from my spiritual practice, I already know that it sucks my energy. So is this loss of my energy for $5,000 in 4 weeks worth it or not? And I would say no, because I can also get another client who is a delight to work with. This client will inspire me. We will have a great rapport together. We will probably do partnership down the line, right? So I'm already in control on the business side. But on the spiritual side, here's the thing that you can start implementing in your business. I sit down and I think, how did I attract this woman? Why did she come to me? What is it in me that I attracted her towards me? Because this is the law of attraction that I also practice. You always attract who you are. If you're not confident, you will attract bullies that are also not confident, because we all know bullies are not confident, right?
Yes.
But if you are confident and you are peaceful, let's say I'm peaceful, I'm confident in my work, I'm not in a rush to get any money, and I stand behind my prices, and I'm just doing my work with all the confidence that it will come my way, because I deserve it as a human being, it happens. Yeah, but that really requires you checking in with yourself, trusting, okay, this is my worth. Yeah, I actually love myself. I will rather clean the toilets than coach somebody for less than $5,000. Because I know that I will suffer if I get less, because I know how much I give. Yeah, self-worth pricing comes back. If I'm wobbly somewhere and I'm like scrapping for leftovers, that's what you get. You really get your clients are like your partners in your life, the mirror of your self-worth. Yeah, I know it's easier said than done, but your self-worth can only grow if you know yourself.
Yeah, and it is so easy to see also how we'd scare away the best clients if we're not grounded and centered, because they're looking for someone who is confident, safe, together, and has that centeredness. That gives us assurance that someone is the right person to work with.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is, it always happens, right? We can't get it always right. I don't like to call bad and good days. I actually just call it maybe low energy days and high energy. I remember I had a call recently with a guy, and I knew this guy was really somebody I wanted on board. But because I was moving countries and I was so tired, really tired, I really gave my best on that call, but I didn't perform well. And so, and I probably said things that I shouldn't have said. Like if I would have actually meditated, but I wasn't in a position. And let's say I was just more grounded and, more clear, it would go well. But it didn't, because I didn't meditate for at least 15 minutes that morning, and I was the lower version of myself on that day, right? It happens. And you can always mend it later on, with your actions and stuff. It's not always lost. But I also didn't beat myself up. The pre-Buddhists do that, would just beat myself up. Yeah, it would be a disaster that I am a drama queen by default, And nowadays I'm thinking, no, there's a reason why things are happening like this, and you have a priority. So your priority is to move from London to Australia. You had so much on your plate. You're really doing well and everything. You're always making an effort. You are aware what you just done. That's good enough. Yeah, and so. That's also fine, but yeah, if you just go and you don't even take care of yourself, and then Apple comes in as a client and you just fuck it up because you didn't do your best, that's really not a life that you want in the long term.
Yeah, wow. So tell us more about your clients and how you come to work with them. What how does a transformative Buddhist coach find clients? Who needs them, and what sort of problems do they have that motivate them to go out looking for you?
That's an interesting one. Look, previously I would follow quite a lot of coaches telling me how I have to market myself, which is fine. I learned a lot. But a Buddhist transformational coach like myself invests in herself and her wisdom. And so my marketing is very simple. I don't pay Google anymore for any ads. I don't pay anything to anyone. I do attract who I am. So I make a huge effort to be very grounded, centered, and wise, and inspire and educate people. I use Facebook a lot. And so I combine my business knowledge with Buddhism. So my marketing is simple. I inspire and educate, and I make people want to talk to me. And the reason why they always want to talk to me is even when I type, I get messages saying, I just feel that you are so grounded and you are so sure about what you do that I just want to talk to you. Yeah. And so there's no marketing that can fake that. It's the vibe. Right? Yeah. So I use Facebook posts. I also transfer them into autoresponders to my subscribers. I put it on any social media platforms, like Instagram, Twitter, and stuff. That's fine. But what I really do is I meditate. I understand, like the other day I said, if an arsehole hurts you in your life, you should gracefully smile and say thank you. And then I explain what is an arsehole. Is it really an arsehole? What is beyond that? And I get a lot of clients by that. They really, it's not a stuff that you would easily find online. Yeah. So I'm kind of like a little Buddha with swearing words in her posts that actually explains what's happening. And the same in business. Yeah. Cool. And so, yeah, and most of the clients are very much interested in law of attraction. So my ideal client would be a person who is successful, has done it to an extent. You don't have to be in 6-figure business, but you have to be kind of aware that you've done quite a good amount of work in business, but there's something missing. It's this icky feeling, yeah, that you kind of want to love yourself more. It's always self-love. I'm doing fine. I'm working hard. Everything is going well, but I somehow just don't feel good about myself. Yeah. What really is happening to you is, because you are an entrepreneur, you are on a massive journey of self-discovery, but you just didn't know it. Yeah. Nobody told you, hey, by the way, once you start becoming an entrepreneur, you will start your own spiritual journey. That's kind of like, that's what's happening to you. So if you have that itchy feeling, and you are committed to your business and to yourself, you then commit to transformational coaching, which helps you take care of yourself, because you're the biggest asset of your business. So that will be a client that comes to me. And they come to me from all over the world, literally any country in this world. And I sometimes can't even track where they come from. I do ask, so they would probably watch a video on YouTube. They would go on my website, Facebook, but I don't pay any ads anymore. I just attract people, and I choose my clients.
And how much do you use video? Because that's obviously a really powerful medium. I know it's something I've been meaning to do more of for years, and I have recently, which has been great. But do you use Facebook Live? How much do you use YouTube? Tell us more about that.
Great. Okay, I did a lot of videos last year, and I actually find them really cool, because people get to know you, right? And so here's the thing, like if you are grounded, if you really are kind to yourself, and you just start enjoying your thing that you do, you will come across like that on a video. You can't fake that vibe. Yeah. So I love videos because I really enjoy talking in front of the camera, and I just love connecting with people. I use it a lot. I did neglect it recently because of my move, and I don't use Facebook Live purely because my ego is keeping me in a limiting belief. I saw so many bad live videos that I'm kind of thinking, oh, this is not for me. But this is an example how you shouldn't be. Right? So real Buddhists will just do her own thing for the purpose of inspiring others. So very good example of, your ego is playing tricks with you and keeps you limited, right? Podcasts are really cool. I started to do them as well. It's very simple. Voice memo, on your iPhone. I just talk while I'm cooking or whatever, always choose a topic, send it to my assistant. She just posts it everywhere. Fine, So I think communicating, this is the thing. Buddhism helps you also in marketing, because nothing beats wisdom. Nothing beats an authentic, one sentence even. If you write an article, there's one authentic, wise sentence from you. That's gonna bring you the client. It's never the usual stuff.
Yeah, magic.
Yeah.
That's great. And you said you did some webinars as well?
Yes, I actually interview quite a lot of inspiring people. I am very passionate about entrepreneurship, and I'm a total Steve Jobs girl. So because these guys are my kind of people, right? And by the way, I did attract Apple as my client 4 years ago, actually nearly 5 years ago. So they're one of my clients as well, because I run 5 businesses. So I do law of attraction quite a lot in my life, and so I do webinars with like-minded entrepreneurs, or even somebody who's not doing similar things to me, but is super inspiring in what they do, and they can teach people. I'm very much about authentic. So quite a lot of my clients become also people that I interview, because they really done that work. They know their why. They are very, they become key persons of influence in their field. And which is great, that's what you want. And it's just, if the purpose is, if my intention is authentic, and it's all about kindness and having an impact on other people, it just works, you know. So this sounds a bit woo-woo, but it is actually true. Like, I do know that if my webinar and my video is there with a, you know, nothing to sell, but pure intention to transform one viewer's life, it will work.
Great.
Yeah, it's
and
cool.
that really, you know, that is the measure of something like a webinar, is the opportunity for people to try it out, and if they get results with you that quickly, then that tells them it will work. And already you've said that your best clients, they tend to already be doing some law of attraction, and they're trying to apply it to their entrepreneurship, and so they're part way down the journey. They're getting results from it, but they know it's worth investing more, and they see you as someone who's mastered it. So it sounds like you are attracting people who are, you know, wanting to go down the same path, and they want to follow someone who's had proven success.
Totally. But, you know, not everybody practices law of attraction that they come to me. So when I have a free session, which all your viewers can get with me after this video, is the only thing you need to have is a burning desire to try out new things. So I don't care if you're successful or not. All I care is that you are 100% committed to try something else, because it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, it costs you a coaching program of 4 weeks. But really, the practice itself doesn't cost you anything. Those practices that I tell people in the coaching session is like 3 minutes each practice. Yeah. So time is no excuse. Money is no excuse. And, you know, like daring to dream, daring to believe that, okay, the universe does have your back. So tell me how it works. What, you know, and I actually teach people how to build the trust and relationship with the universe, so that they can actually move from hard work and negative mindset into the easy work. You know, easy, it's coming my way. I don't chase, it's coming my way. Why? Because I know what I want, and I say it clearly to the universe. And there's a way how to manifest things, right? The only thing you as a client would need to have is an open mind and ready to check. You know, I have clients who are amazing in what they do. They're really successful, and they went for a year coaching program, and they would do all this Buddhism, but law of attraction was like a no-go, right? And I tried a few times, and I'm very strict. I'm very strict, right? So I find my way, and then you have homework, right? And they said like, no, this is shit. I'm never gonna do this. I'm not. And I'm like, you're not gonna get your money back, and you're off, you know? So they kind of start listening. I find the way how to explain to you. And when they start practicing, when they actually, because of that homework, they every day they find evidence. Actually, I open your eyes a little bit. Then the transformation happens, and then they start attracting contracts that bring potential million pounds of worth, you know, contracts and stuff, because you become happier. You kind of you don't feel alone anymore. You're not alone. You know, there's this law that works whether you know it or not. But the only thing really is your open mind.
Fantastic. And so how do you generally work with people? Is it one-on-one coaching, or do you have a group coaching program? Do you do much live work or live events? What are the modalities you use to interact with your clients?
Well, I do have online courses, which are great if you want to start. And they're very simple, you know, filmed in my studio in London, and it's all about the content, right? So self-doubt, you know, how to become a digital nomad, everything, you know, how to attract love, how to get confidence to actually do what you really, really want to do, like different steps. So online courses are easy, they're cheap. They're probably around, I don't know, $100 each course. 20% goes to profit to charities in Bali. And so that's one way that I reach people. The other way is I do one-to-one coaching, and I do it, and you can have a one-off confession session where you basically offload your shit that you can't really share with anyone else. And I deeply scan what the issue is and explain to you and give you a recipe that kind of works for you. It always does, because I'm very intuitive as well. Or the most used program is the 4 weeks program. So you have 4 sessions, and you have a lot of homework. And you have to apply everything we do. You have homework, you apply it in your real life. That's how I actually also study Buddhism. It's not intellectually understanding what it is. I actually have to live it and then write a whole essay on it, you know. And then I have a retreat. You can go on a retreat with me for a substantial amount of money for like 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go in the middle of nowhere, you know, and we actually have a one-to-one retreat. And then you can have if you are a coach, let's say, I have a lot of coaches and they want to become deeper in Buddhism and spirituality. They learn from me, so they would have a year's program. That's more for like people who wouldn't study with the monks like I do, or they don't have the money or the time to go to the monastery like I did, but they want somebody who was actually quite connected with them. They would learn from, and I'm a coach, so they would always ask me, how do I do this? So I kind of just transfer my wisdom with them. So that's the way I do. I do a lot of speaking gigs lately. I do a lot of interviews. And that's basically where I'm heading towards. I will probably do crowd coaching where I'm just in front of the audience and you have a hot seat. If you want to share your problem, I'll resolve it there. And so people can actually relate to your issue, because we all have the same issues. We think we're very unique. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we are actually not. We're very, very, very similar. We all have the same basic needs that are not met, which is self-love, self-worth, confidence, you know. And then the pain, like we've been rejected, we've been abandoned, the external factors. So it's beautiful. That's a beautiful way to coach people. Yeah.
Great. And so tell me about what people get from your coaching. So it still seems a little bit esoteric to me, imagining how this actually plays out. So perhaps you can share a story of someone, you know, who came to you and what situation they were in, what they thought they wanted, why they thought you could help, and then what you did and what outcomes they got, and just to give us a sense of what it's like working with you and what your work's like, what your day looks like.
Okay. Here's the thing. They come to me when they are not happy with how they feel about their business, or if the business is not doing as well as they think. But the main problem with the business side is they are kind of losing the motivation. And so I also ask private questions, because we are also like, it reflects your private life and business. They're intertwined. So I have to work on both. And so in the first free session, I discuss both business and private, and because Buddhism needs to be applied in both. And then I basically work on, okay, what are the things that you want to change in your business? Why you're not motivated? I really go into why, yeah? What's behind you not being motivated? Because you think that you're tired, you think that's this, but actually it's always, you forgot your why. You didn't do the self check-in, yeah, for years, and now you're stuck in this business that doesn't bring you joy anymore, yeah. So what I really do with the clients is I scan them, and I kind of do a clear out, and I basically just highlight to you what's really going on, because people don't have clarity. You don't have clarity. That's why you come to me. You know something is not right, but you can't find the solution. You are, because it's yours, right? And so I'm kind of like putting you on these positions if you would be in an airplane, and I show you what's going on in your situation right now and why you feel like this. And then you probably freak out because you might see something you don't want to see, right? But this is it, yeah, that's your life. So I basically help you. This is where kindness and compassion comes in, but I am also, luckily I'm clever, so I always have like a business solution handy. But I literally then work on your mindset. So I remove that fear that you were going to feel. I will just explain to you why you feel fear and how easy it is to change. So I work on your mindset. I explain to you, this is your ego. This is your fear. Okay, this is your limiting belief. And I teach people how to start dreaming. So we don't have a to-do list. We actually have a dream list. This is law of attraction. You will get only what you aim for, right? And because you're so freaked out with your demotivation and blah, blah, you don't even allow yourself to dream. So I kind of clear that out. It's your safe space of self-reflection. I help you declutter your house, and we kind of paint it with the paint that you actually wanted, or you might have changed your mind, doesn't matter. You are allowed to change your mind. We repaint it, yeah? And then we just say, okay, this is your dream, and now let's do tangible goals, how to actually, like steps, yeah? It's basically an action step, kind of like action plan, right? And so I work with you on those steps. And it's very fast. I don't take a lot of time. You actually have to be fast and just keep doing. The reason why is not because I don't want to work with you longer than 4 weeks. It's because in those 4 weeks, I want you to gain momentum and to prove to yourself it's working. Yeah. This is where most coaches kind of fail. They go on and on and on. But if you come to me demotivated, I want you to feel the motivation quickly. And if I just, detangle all this shit around you and show you this is it, and you actually see, oh my God, it's actually simple. I don't want this anymore. I wanted this and I didn't know. And I just remove the fear and your limiting beliefs, and I work with you fast on it. You will immediately see the difference. And that's how you actually change your mindset. I can't change it for you. I can only help you move fast and change it for yourself.
Wow. Yeah. And it is amazing how when you do get results, I'm bad at tidying, and recently we tidied the house. I still haven't quite finished the office, but it's addictive. When you get those results, when you see the clean room and when you can walk through without sort of cringing at all the things lying around, immediately you get a little rush. It rewards you. And so having those quick results makes it easier then to take the next step, and you get even bigger results. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy once you start experiencing success, isn't it?
Yeah, and also you get confidence because you did it. Nobody else did it for you. Plus, when you tidy up your room, yeah, and then suddenly what but what kicks in is creativity.
Yes,
yeah,
sure.
Like in the room, you would say, this is beautiful. What's missing is this beautiful white table that I saw somewhere, right? So in business, it's the same. You cleared it out, and then suddenly you start having these aha moments. And creativity is not for painters and singers. Creativity is for business solutions. You will become a problem solver at any time in your business if you really have a clear picture of what's going on. Yeah, and it's not a one-off. You should do it regularly, right?
Yeah, so in a way, the clutter is almost like our baggage that we're still carrying around with us, the old things that we should have left behind or packed up.
Yes. The other thing I wanted to tell you, Dallas, is that most of my clients actually struggle a lot with their personal lives. So the business is one, but really what they start talking mostly is about their relationships. Because this is just a proof that you are the most important asset. Yeah. So business is kind of like an entity that you're creating. You are not your business. Yeah. You created this energy and entity. It's yours, but it's not you. And so if you are struggling in this part, you're also struggling in this part because it's only one you. And what happens is they start talking about the business, but the relationships are really going down the hill. And so I get a lot of discussions about divorce, how to reconnect with my partner, mothers, fathers, family time, like resentment in the relationships, what's going on, like I do both. So I would probably 50% spend on the business side and 50% on the relationship side. And you apply both principles, the same principles in both aspects of your life. Plus, people who really want law of attraction, I always ask, it's your decision. They do get the training how to do the law of attraction. That means in your business you will start attracting clients that you want, and you will get a domino effect in your relationships, like even from your wife or husband, if you know how to do it. Yeah, it's not manipulating. It's just that you need to work on yourself a little bit and understanding the law. Yeah,
wow. And so if people do want to work with you and get to know more about what you do, how do people find you, Duda? You've got a website, don't you?
I've got a website, which is kickassmuse.com. And when you visit that website, there's a pop-up window where you can schedule a free session. Or because I'm fairly booked out, I do get a lot of messages on Facebook. So Duda Jadrijevic is my profile. And you can just, find me on Facebook, add me as a friend. It's a public profile. And people just message me all the time. I think Facebook is, the platform where people just talk to me a lot. And I'm in many, many Facebook groups anyway. So,
Terrific. Well, I'll put a link to those, the website and Facebook group in there. And you said you had a free gift as well.
Yes, I think that if you just mention that you watch this webinar, you just mentioned Dallas, and you get one online course for free of your choice. So if you go on my website under online courses, you have to visit my website. This is for the SEO. Yeah, but go on my website, find online courses. There are 5 different online courses, and if you make an effort, attract me, and mention Dallas, I will give you free access to one of them.
Wow, that's very generous. Fantastic. Well, thanks for that. And any parting thoughts that we should take with us on our day to find business and spiritual enlightenment?
I think you should just stop and maybe breathe for 5 minutes and stop rushing and chasing. Just understand that you might die tomorrow. So you have one life and you have to cherish yourself first, because people will buy you. People will go to you. So you have to be the best, happiest, calmest, peaceful version of yourself.
Fantastic. Well, look, I could listen to you all day, and I'd look forward to hearing more about some of your experiences. Thanks so much for your time, Duda. It really has been great, and a really different approach to business. I think it's going to be really inspiring for a lot of people, whether they're frustrated or whether they're excited about the opportunity to go to the next level in their business. So thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. I do appreciate it too. Thank you.
Lovely. Well, have a great week, and I'll talk to you all soon.
Cool.